taking the pain of turbulent water because the fragrance is there. He wanted to be famous, but his intention was not to be famous. He wanted to serve a purpose. So, this Mathematics Day we are celebrating because the person who laid the foundation of mathematics, who died young of course, he put the foundation of mathematics. Today, if you see the technology, everywhere there is mathematics. It is like your Bayu. Bayu means the air. Without air, we cannot live 24/7. But without sun, we can live in the night. Sun doesn't come in the night, but we live. But we need air all the time. So mathematics is basically is an air, because without that we cannot breathe. We cannot live. No art is possible without mathematics. If you look at the Fourier series and Navier-Stokes equation, you will be wondering, these are two different things. Why are you talking about this? But they are well connected. If you look at statistics, it is connected to mathematics, but statistics is connected to Fourier series as well. So, this day is about knowing the importance of mathematics, the quality, the invisible quality that must be realized by each and every one present here. No technology, no science will progress without the touch of mathematics. It is so important for us. The students who are sitting in this room, the faculties who are doing this research, teaching, you will enjoy mathematics, you will enjoy the fragrance of flower only when you go do something in math. So I thank all the mathematics teachers who are present here. They are actually the teachers who teach us mathematics. We fail though, but we enjoy, we struggle to get the beauty of mathematics. So progress that we see around, the foundation of AI is without LLM, it's pure mathematical research. There was a talk in alumni, ISC alumni, Professor Saraswat mentioned that why there is no Indian Python, why there is no Indian internet. We have not developed Indian Python, we have not developed Indian internet. Why? Because we have not gone to the mathematical foundation of it. That is why we have not produced it. On this occasion, if we know the foundation of this development, we can progress like China, we can progress like any other nation that are doing great. Meta is buying a person by paying $14 billion only for mathematics. He is just a young boy, drop out from Stanford. We are paying for $14 billion for mathematics only. There is nothing great in the boy. The boy is too good. He can do wonderful things using math. So that is why this particular day is to remind us the beauty of mathematics. Have a wonderful session. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for those encouraging words. It is now my privilege to invite Professor Kuldeep Kumar Raina, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Ramaiah University of Applied Sciences, a distinguished academic leader and internationally acclaimed researcher, to deliver the presidential address.
Thank you, Shaista. Namaste and very good morning to all my very beloved students and a good friend now, Mr. Sandeep ji, who has come all the way to spend his wonderful, memorable moments, I'm sure, Sandeep ji, with our beloved students. At the outset, I would like to congratulate each one of you for celebrating this wonderful day. And that's all pay tribute to this legendary mathematician, son of the soil, who has made not only Ramanujan great, but the nation great at the same time. Let's clap. Dr. Maharana, the Dean, he has just not said, can we live without mathematics? We can breathe perhaps, but we cannot live. But in breathing also, there may be some differential equation, partial or full, which gives us that kind of a sense that there is some air flowing, that is used as the propagation of waves, isn't it? The propagation, standing wave, stationary wave. As a student long back, we used to have those waveforms for the year as well. And my distinguished friend, Dr. Dayana, who has taken over as the Associate Dean Academics. And very nice, I'm sure, academic environment is going to further get enriched on this campus by the presence of each one of you. I'm so happy today that the two departments, one which is Department of Computer Science, with specialization that we offer in mathematics and computing, and the Faculty of Natural Sciences, Department of Mathematics and Statistics, are handshaking. And they should not only shake, it should be a strong bondage, a kind of fostering the relationship between the various specializations. You came forward to celebrate this day. As a culture, I think we celebrate all those wonderful days, Engineers Day, Science Day on this campus. And it makes us to feel not only a celebration, but something we are connected with the soul of the developing something new. Friends, if you look at science in general, which are the ancient sciences that humanity has touched upon and which gave us some new knowledge on the basis of which we have to lay the scientific foundation today. If I am correct, Sandeep ji may correct me, I think it is astronomical science and the chemical science. Where from we started basically, analyzing things and putting in the perspective. Hundreds and hundreds of years back when there was no science, people were looking at astronomical sciences. And then the chemical sciences, because if you look at water, which we need, we don't say it's chemical, but it's a surfactant. It also has that kind of scientific thought process behind it. So the evolution of humanity, as well as thinking in the perspective of looking at science, why the mic is not working well, why there are more vibrations, mathematical vibrations in mic, what's the problem? So in that context, the energy tried to make these things very, very efficient and very, very effective. So in that context, we have evolved over the years, and then came the new thoughts which have put us in the right perspective. Srinivas Ramanujan, a simple man, humble man. So therefore, it is not always the new ideas come from the great people. I think the simple people can also change the destiny of sciences. And we are remembering today because he made us proud, one. Number two, gave us science, the numbers in fact, which we are analyzing, discussing, deliberating, and started creating hypotheses, laws, and thereafter we have a strong mathematical foundation today. As a nation, we boast because he is our person, one. India has also contributed significantly to the mathematical sciences. Whether people realize it or not, appreciate it or not, is a different story. But I think our roots in astronomical sciences has made people to believe in astrology, numerology, and that is where from we have started our belief. Present day science are professional subjects where we say AI is percolating into almost all domains, whether it is health sciences, whether it is social sciences, whether it is another science, and in engineering. I think today we cannot do many things until we use AI tools. Dr. Maharana said meta and all those. So what is that? If we go on repeating same thing again and again, I think it is not going to have a survival. Sustainability becomes very, very difficult. With this thought process, a couple of years back, the university thought mathematical and computing is going to be also very, very important subject in the specialization. And in that context, we started it. I am so happy to tell you today there is a great demand. The best of the minds in IT industry today say, we need a good statistician, we need a good mathematician. And when we interview people, I'm sure we have used it in the selection committees, to find a good mathematics teacher is the perfect job today. With all appreciation to Dr. Somashekar and his team, that they are doing best to make it possible. Also, because we thought computer is easier than mathematics, but could not put the foundation of that. You cannot become a good computer scientist. See, working on the keyboard is different, but understanding the coding and the logic is different. And the computer that we teach in this country, my young friends, I am sure many of you may be doing BTech in computer science, masters in data science. You are just processing. The thought behind that is where there is a mathematical logic, and that's where we model the algorithms. So I am sure the continued vision of the university and your support, giving you the best, is always the mantra of the Ramai University of Applied Sciences. Such interactions, such discussions, such deliberations are going to have a great and profound value. In one of the Jensen, I'm sure you have heard about NVIDIA. He visited India twice. I had an opportunity to listen to him in Mumbai, and then I also heard him in Santa Clara in US during the GTC, and he said in many words, I'm sure you must have heard his videos as well, what can I do if I don't have strong mathematics with me? So therefore mathematics also starts a foundation. Whether you talk of CPU, GPU, what are you going to work with it? And now, in the recent past, the thoughts which have come to the Indian scientific minds is looking at the quantum computing. Qubits. How are you going to develop certain such situation? It's not the technology only. Technology is an offshoot. You have to develop the systems for that, for which I'm sure math is going to play a very, very significant role. Yesterday we had a wonderful convocation. I think around 2,100 students got the degree. I'm sure in due course of time, when you become eligible after fulfilling the partial requirements for the award of the degree, your degree will not be only a certificate only. There should be a great value behind it. I request the senior faculty members at Technology Campus in Pune, especially heads of departments, Dr. Babu, Dr. Somshekar, Dr. Jyoti, and each one of you, and try to see how we can bring in the passion of solving unsolvable problems. Because if there's a problem, it must surely have a solution. That's what the nature says. It is not that I get a solution, it has an intrinsic solution in it. But how to approach to that is very, very important. So you all, young minds, beautiful minds, I'm sure, you will cohesively think together as computer scientists, as electronics engineers, as natural scientists, as mathematical scientists, sit together, create a culture of hybridization of the ideas. You solve something wonderful. If not, never underestimate the solution that you are thinking. Put it somewhere. Maybe after some time when you have free time, start relooking at it. That's what the research is. Research is not search. It is search and research. This goes on continuum. In this continuum, I'm sure the mathematical science is going to play a very important role. I think if heads of departments permit us, you may also try to constitute a mathematics award on this very, very special day. Some student who secures the highest marks in mathematics, not by only solving the problem of the class, but giving something else. I request Narendra Babu as well as Dr. Somshekar as well as Dr. Jyoti. Think over, along with your team member activities, what could be the basis, what are going to be the metrics of identifying the best. And next year, when we are going to celebrate Ramanujan's birthday on 22nd of December 2026, whether it is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever it is, but it is a mathematics day, we should have a wonderful function in awarding some scholarships, merit scholarships to those students who will create that different thinking and a different capability. We are all here to support your ideas and support your initiative. My best wishes to you. Two deeps cannot be in between the mathematics. Some deep is here, then two deep is also here. So two deeps and Jyoti is also there. All these are these, right? So I sign off by wishing you all the best. Have wonderful times. Start thinking together. I think this nation needs young minds like you. And you are going to be the basic stones, building blocks for making our things. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a very, very happy New Year coming forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring leadership, guidance, and insightful address. It is my privilege to introduce our chief guest for today's National Mathematics Day celebration, Professor Sandeep Kunal. Professor Sandeep K is a world-renowned mathematician currently serving as the Dean of EIFR, Center of Applicable Mathematics, Bengaluru. Dr. K. Sandeep is an alumnus of Calicut University, was awarded the prestigious the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize for Science and Technology, the highest science award in India. For the year 2015 in the category of Mathematical Science category. He has dedicated his career to profound study of elliptical partial differential equations and variational methods. The Fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences and Indian National Science Academy, his research, particularly in hyperbolic space, continues to push the boundaries of modern applicable mathematics. Please join me in warmly welcoming a true stalwart of Indian mathematics, Professor Sandeep Kunal. May I request, sir, to address the gathering, please.
Okay, so good morning. Yeah. So first of all, let me thank the organizers for inviting me to Islamia University for this function today, and it's been nice to come and interact with all of you and meet all of you. Of course, I have been associated with the university in some capacity, but of course I never came here, and it was an opportunity to come and meet all of you. And anyway, once again, thank you for the invitation. So as many people mentioned, today, or more precisely yesterday, was the National Mathematics Day. Right? So it was already mentioned, and the government of India decided to celebrate National Mathematics Day on December 22nd, which is the birthday of Srinivasa Ramanujan. So if I remember correctly, it was in 2011 the government made this decision, and then 2012 was celebrated as National Mathematical Year, and then after that every year on December 22nd they celebrated as National Mathematics Day. So we are seeing that, so the idea was to honor the contributions which Ramanujan gave to the mathematics, and also to create awareness about mathematics and popularize mathematics in the country, and that was basically the idea. So Ramanujan, you know that, so he passed away, when was it, 1912 or? No, not 12, right? 88 was his, 1888, right, was his birth, and he lived for 32 or 33 years. So before that, as other speakers mentioned, you see, India had a rich tradition of mathematics, right? And there are many people who did foundational work. Of course, I am not a math historian, and maybe, but what I heard from various people who have worked on such things is that, and many of our people who have contributed significantly to the foundations of mathematics. So you must have already heard about these names like Aryabhatta, Bhaskara, and Brahmagupta, and there is a famous Kerala School of Mathematics. And what I heard from various people is that some of our people, they even reached somewhat near to the discovery of calculus, even much before Newton and Leibniz. So of course that doesn't mean that they did what exactly is there today, but they were very close. So what I'm trying to say is that we had a very rich tradition, and from there much later it was Ramanujan who comes, and then without any formal training he started producing various outstanding results. And of course what helped him and what put him into limelight is his association with Hardy, and I'm sure there are plenty of books, movies and everything. I request all of you to see this, to see the inspiring life of Ramanujan. And there are many interesting stories between Ramanujan and Hardy. And once I'm not sure, maybe many of you may be knowing about the taxi cab number. Have you heard about it? Ramanujan's taxi cab number. So it's Ramanujan was hospital and Hardy went to visit him, and then he told him maybe that 1729 was is my taxi number in which I came, and it's a very dull number. So you may wonder what is this nonsense, right? If somebody is in a hospital, you are going and telling that about your taxi number. And then Ramanujan immediately replied, no, it is not that. It's one of the very best thing, and it's the smallest number which you can express as the sum of two cubes in two different ways. Okay, so that is 12 cube plus 1 cube and 9 cube plus 10 cube or something. It's the smallest such number which you can write like. So I think if you want to find the next number, which is, it can be written like this, it is maybe some 9 or 8 or 9 digits. So it's a non-trivial. So what I'm trying to say is that Ramanujan was somebody who was just breathing mathematics. So he has made immense contributions, and in number theory, for example, there is something called partition functions and various defined properties of that, infinite series. And there are many such areas he has contributed. Of course, I am not competent enough to talk about his mathematical contribution. Maybe next time, maybe you should call a number theorist who will be able to tell you his main contributions in number theory. But what I can tell you is that, and whatever work he did, that also connects with the modern mathematics. So even today there are people who are working on Ramanujan's notebook, okay, and they are coming up with papers in the prestigious journals like Annals of Mathematics. These are some of the most important journals. So what I'm trying to say is that the works which he has done those days, and that is also connecting with the modern mathematics of today. Okay, and people are making important contributions even today in those directions. So if I say that to the world, if you say Indian mathematics, even now people associated with Ramanujan, it's not an exaggeration. So Indian mathematics, people, first name which comes to mind to anyone in the world is Ramanujan. So that has been his contribution. So now, Ramanujan, so it's a fact that of course we had a Ramanujan, and maybe it's more than 100 years ago, and we didn't had any other, one more Ramanujan after that. There are people who have been doing extraordinary work, okay. But we also should remember that the size of our country, right? It's our population. And maybe statistically speaking, at least we should have had more such success stories. We do have some success stories, but somehow we don't have success stories which are proportional to our population. Okay, so this is a reality. Okay, so these are some of the things which our mathematical administration has been seriously thinking, and most of the time. There are different efforts are made to popularize mathematics, okay, and to attract people to do mathematics and so on. So that is also one of the aim of this National Mathematics Day. So it is to inspire people and take up mathematics and do mathematics in the best possible way. I am sure we have plenty of people, okay, and who are very talented in math. Okay. And the right thing is that they have to get the right opportunity and they should be in the right directions. And I'm sure a lot of success will come. And so that's also one of the main focus of having these kind of programs. Okay, so another thing is, see, we are talking about Ramanujan. So that doesn't mean that anybody who is doing a mathematician will be a Ramanujan. So all of us will have our own way of contributing. So the mathematics, for example, there are people who teach us mathematics, right, at various levels. They all have a role to play in nurturing the future generation. So it's not that everybody is like Ramanujan and producing a world-class result. But I think as a system, if we contribute, and things will come, and there will be more success stories. And the mathematics, you see, and mathematics is also another subject. Most of the time, I think, I'm sure if you go to many colleges and schools, and there will be a large section of students who are generally scared of mathematics, right? So I'm sure the people who are teaching mathematics, when you meet many of the people, the first reaction will be that I'm very bad at maths. So I'm sure if you have heard, if you have not heard such comments, I will be surprised. So there is a perception that math is very difficult. Sometimes, you see, all of us have our own limitation, our strength and limitations, right? Of course, I may be able to do mathematics in some form, but if you ask me to sing and dance, that maybe I won't be able to do it, right? So we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. So there are many people who can do math. Okay. Now mathematics is not just about of course when we do any course or any study, one of our main focus is to get good marks, right? But at least when we are doing at higher studies, we can also make some efforts to understand the subject, what it is, and that way we will try to enjoy the subject, okay, more than just getting the marks. Okay? And that is very essential for understanding the subject and taking it forward. Okay? So mathematics is also like other subjects. So we are also doing experiments. Okay? But our experiments are like we are asking questions to ourselves. Okay? And then we are trying to answer it. And most of the time you may think that, for example, you have some formula or something that here you try to mug up and you produce it. So if you try to analyze these things, what is your aim, what you wanted to do, and what you require for that, like that, you start asking questions to yourself, and then you will see that a lot of mathematics you are doing, it comes naturally from within. Okay? So these are some of the things as math education we plan to tell to the people. Okay? So you try to treat mathematics as more a natural subject. Okay? Try to do it in an experimental way. That way you can make mathematics more interesting, and you can, and that way you will be able to understand what you will be able to do it and whether you are enjoying it or not. Okay. And the mathematics study, it also helps you in various other forms. For example, to develop some kind of an analytical reasoning. So these are things which are required, which you are doing any of the job. So other than just doing mathematics, the mathematical training also helps you to understand or analyze a situation, and these are some of the skills which you acquire by learning mathematics. So it's not that you may not realize it. See, as somebody told that the mathematics is like air, which you are able to, you won't be able to feel, right? For example, I ask you, for example, yeah, so this is another question which you generally hear. Students generally ask, what is the use of studying all these things? Right? Okay, am I going to use it somewhere? So, but you can see that there are many things which are without realizing, right? For example, you have the numbers, 1, 2, 3, right? What is 1? Can you show me 1 somewhere? So these are our mathematicians' creations, right? Then after that we are using it and we have got used to it. Okay, so we are not realizing it. Okay, so these are all creations. So the mathematics, it's not easy to explain where mathematics is applied and things without in the very beginning itself. So what I am trying to say is that mathematics has a huge role to play in various science and even in our life in various forms. So that way it is very important that we train our next generation for mathematics, and teachers at various levels have a huge role to play in it. And also mathematics, there are various types of mathematics happen. For example, there are practical problems, there are people develop mathematics to study such things. And then there are also situations mathematics is developed and later on it finds application. So what I understand is that many of the time when people are trying to study other subjects and they try to model everything, they are looking for some mathematical structures where you can model it. So if there is a structure is already available, people can use that. So the mathematics develops as its own, and sometimes it also develops based on the need. Okay. So there is no way of saying that this is the way to do math. So generally mathematics is taught as a subject and it has to develop in its own way. Okay. And that is what most of these programs, what we try to do. Okay. And I think I am not plugging my address. Okay. So anyway, I hope these kind of programs will motivate some of you sitting here, and probably another 50 years down the line, we will have some success stories to celebrate from this audience. So with this, let me wish all of you a happy National Mathematics.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating address. Now I request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly proceed with the felicitation of our chief guest. Thank you, dignitaries. I now invite Dr. Jyoti AP, Associate Professor, Program Head, Mathematics and Computing, Department of CSE, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning all. I am Dr. Jyoti AP, Associate Professor and Head, Mathematics and Computing Program from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. It is my immense privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for the celebration of National Mathematics Day 2025. So till now we have heard a lot about Mathematics Day celebration from all the dignitaries in the dais. So I would express my deepest gratitude to our chief guest and keynote speaker, Professor Sandeep Kunar, Dean of TIFR, CAM, for sharing his invaluable expertise. So we will be having a detailed session in year 303 after the inaugural. And I'm very obliged to have Dr. Yashwant M, Associate Professor, Manipal Institute of Technology, Mahe, and he will be taking a session online in the afternoon today. So all of you can join and have the enriching of knowledge through his technical session. I take this opportunity to thank our Honorable Chairman, Dr. M.R. Jairam, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Kuldeep Kumar Raina, our Registrar, Mr. Ashok Rao, and Provost, Professor R.V. Rangnath, for their constant encouragement and support. And very special thanks to Professor Sharad Kumar Maharana Sir, Dean of FET, for his guidance and serving as a backbone for the event. And our gratitude also goes to Dr. Dayananda B.S., Associate Dean Academics, Dr. Nayana M. Patil, Associate Dean Students Wellbeing, and Dr. Rinki Sharma, Associate Dean, Center for Academic Data Accreditation and Ranking, CEDAR. So for their continuous encouragement and support in organizing this program. My sincere thanks to both the HODs, HOD of Mathematics and Statistics, Dr. Shomashikara Ji, and HOD of Computer Science and Engineering, Dr. C. Narendra Babu, for their constant support. I take this opportunity to thank event organizers, Dr. Suman Bharadwaj HS and Dr. Jyoti AP, and all the event coordinators, Dr. S. Chandan Kumar, Dr. Venu K, Dr. Mahadev M. Chanakote, and Dr. Anupriya Jha, Dr. Sandeep Kumar, and Dr. Shrita Kumari, and Dr. Sindhuja J. Achar, Dr. Amtul, and Ms. Shasta Taranu from the Department of Mathematics and Statistics and Mathematics and Computing Program, Department of CSE, for their dedicated work in making this event a grand success. Thank you all. A seamless event is impossible without technical excellence, so I would thank ICT team, Mr. Nagraj and his entire team for the flawless management, for the audio-visual requirements and the online talk. I also acknowledge the hard work of the custodians, Mr. Deepak, Mr. Suresh and his team. We are also grateful to the facility team, especially Mr. Rajesh, Rohit, Somana sir and their whole team for ensuring the venue and arrangements were perfectly in place. So special mention to our MC, Ms. Shasta Taranu, for conducting the proceedings so gracefully. Thank you, ma'am. Finally, thank you to all the student participants and prize winners of the competitions. So as part of this Mathematical Day celebration, we had 4 events, that is a Math Dodgeball Arena, e-poster presentation, Desmos Art event and Math quiz. So the prizes would be distributed in today's afternoon after we complete the e-poster presentation. And all the audience over here who are enthusiastic in making this event successful, thank you all. Once again, I take this opportunity to thank one and all for making this National Mathematics Day celebration a truly memorable one and a successful one. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. I request all to please rise for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाये तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाये तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, everyone. I request all to please join for the group photo onto the dais. The organizer committee and students.
Here you can take this
Please, everyone, please be seated for the group photo. I request everyone to please be seated for the group photo.